Okay, I'd like to welcome all of you to our Thursday edition of our co-founder Zoom call, and we do this every Monday and Thursday every week at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, welcome to all of you that are here live. I believe we've got Mark. How do you pronounce your last name, Sanger? Thought I saw him in
But
here.
yep, I'm
There you
here.
go.
Yeah,
Osinger, right?
Sauger.
Osager. Okay.
On Sauger.
Onsager. Okay, Onsager. That makes
Uh,
sense.
there you go.
Yeah, welcome to our call today and welcome back to Pool Funding. You took a little hiatus for a minute there. Um, you were kind of chasing something else for a little bit, and then you've accepted the invitation to come back, and we've made some improvements since you were last here, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think everybody here is here for a reason, and part of that reason is to find some independence, find a little bit of money, and a community to be part of. And I was chasing a different idea that didn't come together, and I just want to thank you guys for allowing me to come back in and be a part of this community.
Yeah, well, you're an awesome guy. And we spoke earlier that you are okay with me interviewing you in the next day or two, because you are an accredited investor, right?
Yeah, I kind of am.
Yeah, so you're an accredited investor, and that puts you in the category of being able to have privy information. For those that might not know what an accredited investor is, what is that?
Well, an accredited investor has been for years people who make well over $1 million, either in salary or assets. It's something that the federal government required of people to have that status in order to be able to buy into companies before they go public. So pre IPO. So you can get stocks for 40, $50 a share before the IPO, and then when the IPO hits, it's worth 400 or 500. And of course, you can cash in a lot of money doing that. But the basically what the government said is, unless you're smart enough to make that kind of money, you don't deserve the right to be able to do that. So
Right.
they've been really stingy on who they allow in their little club. And I'm not saying that I'm anything special. It's just I've kind of gotten lucky to do a part of that. But there are other methods and other ways that you can do accredited purchases and benefit from it.
Right. And when it comes to just when we use the term investing, when we're using that term, long term is usually the way we look at, when it comes to the activity of investing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Uh,
And you've got lots of experience. That's why I want to interview you and do a full on, like really get into it, because you've had some success in the crypto market, but it's been over the years. It wasn't like an overnight stuff, right? So,
right. Yeah, I got involved over 5 years ago in crypto and have seen quite a few different cycles, ups and downs. Made some good money, lost some good money, but never sold anything. And that's where you get into that long-term investment because it really does pay off in the long term. Nobody gets a 401k one year and sells it the next year. That's retirement. That's 30 years down the road. And this kind of investing is kind of the same way. But what I saw in crypto was the opportunity, and that opportunity is huge right now.
thank you for saying that. So, guys, you guys have that to look forward to. Mark's an awesome guy. He's from my home state. I kind of grew up in Colorado, so he's in Colorado, and it's cold right there right now.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it's 85 degrees over here today in the Philippines, just for your information. But
All right.
yeah, January cold in Colorado, and I really think we're going to benefit from your insights as, from looking at things through the scope of, not so short term, short-term thinking actually can create a lot of problems. And we're going to talk about that a bit today. But what I want to do is move over to something I wrote to everyone in the chat at the beginning of the meeting here. I'll just read it. I can sell coin that I don't have to buy first before I sell it. I get to keep 100% of the money I sold it for. We are filling up the co-founder spots now inside the pool funding community. Okay. So if you're looking for like an angle that kind of sums up our offer, there it is. What do you think about that angle, Mark? I can sell coin that I don't have to buy first. And I keep
Well, that's
100% of the money.
yeah, that's an interesting concept. In some of the three-letter agencies around the country, they might put you in jail for that. But it, it seems like uh, that is the way a lot of people try to do it.
Well, in the case of the the co-founder position that we have here, that's what we're doing, right? So uh, we're
Exactly.
we're we're accumulating co-founders. So we have a coin. We don't make people buy the coin before they get it, right? So and then it stakes for 90 days in their account, and then it shows up in their wallet. So that's how it works.
Yeah, that's an amazing addition to what you guys have done and the changes you've made to empower this system and make it pretty valuable.
Yeah, because in October of last year, that wasn't available. Before, you were making daily payments, but you weren't getting anything in return, right? So this now you've got a value and also we introduced the idea of the co-ownership, the co-founder. So, you know, if all of us come together as co-founders, there's 10,000 spots available. If all of us come together as co-founders, the understanding that we have something we come in together and work with, right? The coin's already created. That part's done. But we're not saying, okay, now each of you go buy the coin and then take the coin that you have, then go sell it to people. We have a system that's all automated. So you just get people to, register for the system. And then when they make their payments, it's basically a transaction between the person selling the coin and the person receiving the coin. And that would be the sponsor and the referral, right? So that's what it is. But the beautiful thing about that is that they're not having to buy the coin first before they sell it because of their status as a co-founder, right?
Yep, that's the beauty of it that you're able to collect coins and not be out there in the market trying to figure it out. It's just part of the incentive and the payment for getting your system going.
There you go. All right, thank you for your contributions there. We don't want to trip up any regulators, by the way. Just I want to make a note of that. We're not interested in alarming anybody in that regard. We want to do that's why we don't have like a network marketing structure to what we're doing, because if you want to be really regulated, set up a network marketing thing, or MLM, right? Because almost every country out there's got a lot of regulations regarding that. So that's why we're pretty much straight line. There's no payment on a downline or upline or anything like that. We do have connections with people. We can call them upline and downline, but the pay doesn't go that way. It's strictly between referrals and sponsors, or it's more like an affiliate marketing, straight line. Very simple. No need to, there's no need to regulate that. So it's, one of those things you'll see a lot of regulations for because it's pretty straightforward and clean. And that's what I'm looking to do, guys. I want to have an operation that, is going to be here for the long term. And then for that to be true, we need to do things in a way that is, within the boundaries of reality. You know what I'm saying? So there is a little bit of stretching that inside of the crypto realm, but that's just because it's an innovative market. It's still in its innovative stages. So we're part of that. All right. Let me go ahead and so you guys might want to write that down or make a copy of that. I send it to everyone on the chat. I can sell coin that I don't have to buy first before I sell it, and I get to keep 100% of the money I sold it for. We are filling up the co-founder spots now inside the pool funding community. Okay. So that's a good way of basically showing people what we have to offer in the smallest amount of words, I think. And and if you guys can improve upon that, that's my best shot. If you guys can improve upon that, let me know. Okay, fair enough. All right.
Ace, you said it in the chat, but I'm not seeing it.
I could send it again. All right, you see it now?
I see
Yes.
it.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're
Yep.
welcome. Okay. You might have come in after I sent it. That might be the reason. But now everybody has it. So today I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about cash flow and I want to talk about wealth creation. Because ultimately the two of these come together in the concept of pool funding. And let me see, how do I want to illustrate this? Let me share my screen. Let's go to an old chart here. This one. I'm going to go to, okay, this is PFP. This is the coin that we've had the longest. We've had the PFP coin since January 4th of 2024. So it's our oldest coin. Okay. So you can see here, I'm looking at the middle part of the chart right here. Actually, it's, yeah, it has a history before it. All right. Yeah. Now, what I hope you're seeing on this chart are the red dots. Do you guys see the red dots?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Especially up in here, you can see them there. Okay. And then notice that ever since this date here, the beginning of November, no more red dots. There were actually a couple of green dots there, right? A couple of green dots here, but the end of the red dots are right there. So the dots indicate when the wallet attached, and that's this guarantee wallet here. Okay. So that's when this so anytime that there was a sell, it would show up as a red dot, and anytime there was a buy, that would show up as a green dot. Okay. Now, if we take a look here, the price was over here, where it kind of got started. It's like June. I think we're looking at June here. So from June, it went from about 20,000 all the way up to 30,000, in about 45 days. So, 40 to 45 days. So a nice run there from 20,000 to 300,000. Came back down over here, 107,000, back up to, 300,000, back down, a nice dip all the way down to 60,000 for a moment. And then it went back up to, so look, prices go up and down. Okay. But the way that we were doing things before, I had to make sales every day in order to pay off things, right? So, so we were paying out what we were referring to as guarantees and the rotator. The way the system worked before the changes made in November of last year, it required me to make regular sales. Now I have no requirement to sell at all. So I don't have a need to sell. So I don't need to sell. And that makes it so that more of you guys can then, move the market up and down, right? But anyway, I did my best to measure it out. I took measured moves on this. We had an all-time high of 320,000 roughly, maybe 324, 323. 323,000 was the high there. Okay. So what we're looking at here is part of what I call wealth creation. Okay. So the value of the coin is, over time can establish wealth creation, which again, if you use the definition of wealth like this, that wealth equals that amount that can sustain your lifestyle for a period of time. So you can measure wealth in the number of years that you can live off of it, right? If you had no more money coming in, how long could you live off it? That's how you define wealth. That you have something that you can live off of on an ongoing basis. And then you basically take, like, let's say you needed $50,000 a year to live, and you had $1 million. So 50,000 inside of a million goes 20 times. You'd have 20 years of wealth, just to do a simple equation. Okay, how to measure wealth. So on the one hand, we've got wealth creation. Okay, but on the other hand, cash flow. Okay. Now, what do you think most people are interested in the world today if they had to choose one or the other, right? What are people more focused on right now?
Cash flow.
Cash flow.
Okay, you got it, right? So pretty much most people are going to say cash flow because there's a lack of it. Most people don't have daily cash flow, by the way, right? Daily cash flow is not that common in the world, okay? But having positive cash flow is good. And believe it or not, there's lots of people that don't have positive cash flow. They live their lives on credit. And so every year they get a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper into that debt because they spend a little bit more than they make. And so they have negative wealth because of it. So cash flow, that's what people want. So what we want to do is offer people wealth creation to join and provide you as a co-founder cash flow. Okay? So look at it this way. I can sell coin that I don't have to buy first before I sell it, and I get to keep 100% of the money I sold it for. That's my cash flow. And we're filling up co-founder spots right now inside of pool funding, inside of our pool funding community. So by offering wealth creation, I'm able to receive cash flow. I'm trying to break this down where a 5-year-old could understand it. Am I doing a good job, or am I still talking way in the clouds?
No, it's
Yes, you're
good.
doing a good job.
It's
Okay,
good.
good. All right. Because as long as we understand what we're pitching, guys, because some of you, I know you can really get hung up on, like, the tentacles of pull funding, because we're a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little, we're all over the place. We're talking about AI one day, and we are going to open up a store, and then the next day there's tentacles to everything that we're doing. Okay. But if we can just sum it up, what we're doing is we're showing people a vehicle of wealth creation so that they can access, positive cash flow. Okay. So by offering this, you can get this. Okay. And, I'll say the original structure of pool funding wasn't like that. That was not the offer. I think we have made the offer better since November of last year when we made the changes. Because clearly that's the offer now. Okay. Because people go, I was with Mark today as he was kind of getting back all set up, and he was immediately he noticed that he received some PFB coin in his account. Right? Remember that, Mark? That just happened this morning, helping him get back into the community here.
Yeah,
And
I do. I was kind of surprised to see that in there already.
Yeah, what's this? Well, that's what you're receiving for your $10, right?
Yep.
And to me, that feels way better because you were with us before when you would make a payment and then nothing would show up like that, right?
Right.
So, but you like the idea that the cash flow, idea of pool funding all along. We've had this idea of daily cash flow, but now we're able to offer something in return, right? And there's value in it, and the value will increase over time. So, thank you, Mark. All right. Let's see. How else do I want to put this? Let's go to. Let me share my screen again. Let's go into the account here. Let me change it to my account here. And let's refresh it. Okay. Now, for those of you that have been with us for a while, you may remember a whole bunch of videos on this page. You guys remember that?
Yep.
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 Now
Yeah.
there's only one video, right? And it's about 5 minutes long.
Earning $3,000.
Yeah, 5 minutes, 28 seconds long. And the whole point of it is earn $3,000 a day. How about that for cash flows? That sound good?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. There's a reason why this is the only video here, guys. And I think you might want to study exactly every word of this. In fact, if we go to YouTube, I wonder I wonder if the language is here. Show more. It is. Okay. So you have the entire script here of the video written out. So you might want to actually go in here and actually come to really understand what is being said in that video. Because if we want to get how many of you want to have everybody in the community, all pool funders, all the people in pool funding, how would you like them all on the same page?
Yes.
You want everybody on the
Yes.
same page? Yeah?
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's the video. That's the video, guys. That's the video. These are for people that are already in pool funding. That video is there because it's for people that have signed up already. Okay. We have other videos to draw people into the community. But this is the video we want people to study and know and understand because it comes down to people understanding how you make money in pool funding. And it comes down to this right here, guys. And this is a cash flow chart. Okay. You might start down here at $3 a day, positive cash flow, and work your way up to $30 a day, and then $300 a day, and then $3,000 a day. It's save and scale up. Okay. When we do training on all that. But understand, this is the prize. Okay. This is the prize. As much as the coins and all that, that's very, very exciting, but it's more of a longer term. We should, pool funding will have far greater success if the majority of its members understand that wealth creation is the long-term thing, not the short-term thing. The cash flow is the short-term thing. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
recently, a number of you have got my attention about the charts. Like the charts are low, and Hunter's got a great response for a low chart. What do we call that, Hunter?
It's on sale.
It's on sale. So when you see the charts going down, hooray! It's on sale. Okay, that means the multiple in front of the multiple is even higher. And believe me, look, my objective here, what I'm focused on right now is we have these paid signups. There's orders for paid signups. Okay. I want to fill all of them as quickly as I can, get them done. And then right after that, I want to get to the point where I can take a brand new order and fill it the same day that someone pays for it for a paid sign up. What do you think that would do to the overall growth of the pool funding community once I achieve that, objective?
Skyrocket.
We'd see exponential growth.
We go from hundreds a day to thousands a day to tens of thousands a day, right? It'd just be exponential growth, right? And then what if I, give you guys an agent, an AI agent that can do that for you respectively, and you can just pay for that. Now you got an agent that can do it for you. What do you think about that? And then you can load stuff into it, put whatever clicks, right? Load it with clicks, and then people come in and take a look, and then you get the deal. So that's what I'm in the process of doing, guys. But like anything, look at those skyscrapers. They don't build overnight, do they? Nothing happens overnight. Okay. And I know we're getting a little anxious, but I want to show something with you. Share my screen again. Let's go here. What's been happening recently? Well, last week we had a strategy meeting on, we call this the pay it back and tail strategy, more of like an elite strategy on top of the $111 strategy. So we did that 6 days ago. Okay, you guys recall that with Leslie. And then the next thing we did is 5 days ago, I made an announcement that the assurance refunds were all paid. Okay, so there's everybody that had assurance that paid for assurance, and recall that I had to sell. Okay, I had to sell coin. Okay, all these red dots. Most of that was because I needed to raise the money to pay the assurances back in USDT. Because when you guys get paid, you get paid in USDT. So I couldn't just send you the coin. I needed to convert the coin so that you could but now we don't have assurance anymore. And now you have everybody's been refunded. Okay. So all assurances are paid. Okay. Both in the $10 pool and the $1 pool. So anybody had paid for assurance that was unused assurance, they got paid back, and here's a receipt for each and every one of those. Okay. Now, but if you go to that video, there were some instructions on there. I don't think they were followed as well as they could have been. But on this video, I have some good news for you. In the instructions, I said, in other words, don't sell PFI or PFB or you'll miss out on the gains coming very, very soon, right? Why sell something for $2 when you could be getting $550 for it, right? Why sell something for $20 when you could be getting $1,100 for it, right? That was in the instructions, but clearly some people, took some of that assurances and the refunds and have, gone ahead and sold it, and that's impacted the chart. But Hunter, what do we call that?
We just call that people getting out without knowing that it's going back up soon.
Shaking out
losing
the
out.
weakest hands.
Yeah, we're shaking out the weak hands, but at the same time, it's on sale. So all they did is they basically made an improvement in one way. They made an improvement for the person that wants to buy, right? So the person buying here has got a way better opportunity to multiply than someone that buys up here, right? So the multiple, is much better down here than it is up here, right? So that's why they always say you buy in the low and you sell on the high, right? Because you don't buy on the high and sell on the low, right? So
The diamond hands are having a great time.
exactly. So look, guys, I know the charts are down, but when you see a down chart, the way you need to look at it when it comes to PFI, PFB, PFS, a down chart is just it's on sale. Now realize that when we get into the point of tripping it, where we have hit our the 3 price targets, and we got our 3 price targets done, then there's a range, okay? And we don't want to go below that range, but there should be thousands of you as co-founders preventing that from happening, from going below that. That's the idea. So if you should be able to take cash flow that you're getting in USDT and help keep it within that range, but that's a collective thing. So we're early on. We haven't quite set the fast growth up in place yet. There's just certain things that are not quite finished, right? And anybody looking at what's the value of this coin right now today, I'm going to talk about that in a moment in detail, but it's not much, right? Relatively speaking, not where it needs to be. But when we have the other parts in play, the fast growth and everything falling into place, and then everybody understands their role, they understand that it's about cash flow, not about wealth creation. Wealth creation is like that 401k. It's just that money for later on, right? What we're more concerned about is increasing cash flow daily, right? From tens of dollars into the hundreds of dollars, and from hundreds of dollars daily into thousands of dollars. That's what we're looking to do. That's what you guys want to do, right? But
Yep.
technically,
Yes, sir.
you have a stronger proposition today than you did back in October of last year. Because October of last year, you couldn't say, well, hey, you're getting some coin here, that's going to be going up in value, because when people would make that payment, which helped your cash flow, there was nothing showing up that they were getting anything for that. Recall that? You remember? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah. So people don't understand how to look at a chart in a positive way. It's going to help the community to be strong, right? I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you want? Do you want a weak community or you want a strong community? Which kind of community do you want, guys? You tell me.
Strong as diamond.
All right. You want a strong community, right? But if we're whimpering and we're coming up with reasons to cry, does that make us strong or weak?
Weak.
That's weak. And at the end of the day, each one of us, and that includes me, got to stand in front of that mirror and go, hey, man, get a grip. Maybe you're disappointed about this, or maybe you're disappointed about that. But that doesn't mean it's the end. We're still in, this is just the middle of the story. Okay. We're not even, we're not necessarily at the very beginning, definitely not at the end of it. We're in the middle of the story. So, hey, let's not get too concerned about what the charts are saying, because that's not even where our attention is. Our attention is on cash flow, right? And since I'm focused on increasing the speed of growth through what I can do, you guys should also be trying to, any way that you could possibly can, build a team like Leslie with her elite strategy. The reason why she can even do an elite strategy is because she doesn't need me to give her paid signups. Is Leslie here? I think she is. I thought I saw her.
I don't see her anywhere.
Okay, maybe she stepped out. But yeah, she doesn't, she's not depending on me to do anything for her when it comes to building a team. She can build it herself, right? So she's coming from a strong position to begin with, right? So that's what you want to you want to increase your individual strength, each one of you. And as each one of you do that, there'll be elements that will the community will pick up on. Every once in a while, a light bulb goes off and like, hey, why aren't all of us doing it like that? You know, I know we recognize Karen a lot of times. Karen does a lot of great things. She's and she puts out some great materials, right? Same thing with Paul, right? These guys have got some stuff that they've been using. It's been working, so we've been trying it out, and so that's it, guys. So as co-founders, we're in this together. We're in this together. We want to make this work. So when should we sell coin? So wealth creation, we should be able to cash in on the wealth at some point, right? So let's take a look at that. Okay, let me move this out of the way. All right, so I like to use the ape chart for what I'm going to talk about now. So we got PFI, PFB, and PFS. Okay, so let me go back to PFI. Here's PFI. Okay, so the first rule of selling: do not sell. This I'm giving you not like the law. There's no law. You can sell whenever you want. You can sell for a 99.999% loss. That's up to you, man, or men or women. So it's up to you if you want to sell at a loss. That's okay. That's on you. But I'm going to give you a rule of like you know, how to, um how to, get the most out of your sales when it comes to selling coin. Okay. Look at the 24-hour volume. Okay. Can you guys see what it says right now for PFI? How much coin moved in the last 24 hours, guys? PFI.
99 cents.
99 cents. So here's the rule. The rule is do not sell more than 10% of what you see in the 24-hour volume. Okay? Do not sell more than 10%. So using that, Hunter, as the rule, if I wanted to sell a little bit of PFI today, how much should I sell?
About 9 cents.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, someone just bought some.
how about that?
Okay,
Now,
a
now,
dollar
now,
99 then.
now how much can you sell, right? So you shouldn't
A
you
dollar
should
99 then.
you shouldn't sell more than 10% of what you see in the 24-hour volume. And why is that? Why would you want to look at the volume when it comes to selling? Why is that important? Okay, I guess I'll answer that. The reason why that's important is because you want to get the best price you can. Even though it says you got $2,000 of liquidity here, maybe you only want $100 or something like that, right? But the fact is, if you try to sell $100, you might not get $100. You might get $80, right? Because you're way above the $100 is way more than $11 in the example we're seeing right in front of us now. It's moved up to $11. Okay. So 10% of this would be, $1.10, $1.10, $1.15, maybe something like that. So yeah, that's the first rule. So look, cash flow is what you should focus on. Build your cash flow. We have the opportunity to do that. The coin, on the other hand, that should be something that you just hold on to when you want to make a sell. First thing to look at, 24-hour volume. Second thing you want to look at, liquidity. Okay. You never want to sell more than what you see in liquidity. Okay. So if you've got, say, $3,000 of the coin, if that's what you're holding on to, but the liquidity here is 2,000 and $2,270, right? You've got more coin than there is liquidity. Okay. So you don't want to sell all $3,000, right? Again,
Right.
the reason for that is look at these people that sold that when the coin over here was 26,000, right? They lost every time they'd make a sell here. They were losing, okay? They were losing what they could have got if they just waited. Not only that, but they missed out on all the upside potential because, this coin is scheduled to go to $500,000. Okay, that's where we're taking it. So, really premature selling it right now. But hey, they did it. They probably sold it for a loss. Okay, they sold it at a loss. And once you sold it, you can't sell it again, right? You've already sold it. Moving on to PFB for the $10 pool. Okay, so what's 10% of this number here, Hunter?
About $27.40, roughly.
Okay, that's pretty accurate. Okay, so that's 10%. So if you wanted to sell $100, is it a good idea? Probably not.
No.
You're going to take a hit, right? Plus, it's going to have a pretty
Right.
big impact on it's going to have an impact on the chart. you're going to move the chart more than 10%, right? Yeah. But you got $3,000 in liquidity there. Okay. And if we go to PFS, we got about $500 of liquidity here, 550 and a buck 64 in 24-hour volume. So guys, look, if you take a snapshot and you say pool funding equals those charts, we look like dog shit. Okay? Correct or not correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you want pool funding to look like dog shit? I don't.
No.
Okay. So why put people's attention on it? Right? The best thing to do is say it's on sale, right? And look, what we're working on is we're working on creating fast growth. That's where our attention is. It's not so much on the price of that because we know that with underlying fast growth, that's going to pump the price up. We know that's going to happen, right? That's 2 + 2 = 4. That's easy basic math. Okay, everybody can figure that out. So we don't look at this like a picture. It's more like a movie. Okay, right now it's one frame in a movie that's ongoing, right? And in this movie, it has a happy ending. Okay, and each one of you are the hero in that movie. Okay, that's the deal here. Fair enough.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm open to a little bit of dialogue from other people. So if anybody wants to, if you have a counterpoint, feel free to counter me. If I'm wrong in some way, if you think I'm wrong in any way, now's your chance to hold me accountable. Am I wrong?
To add a little bit to that conversation.
Yes, go ahead, Mark.
Something to kind of remember is every time you're purchasing, if you're in the $10 pool, you're purchasing that much in value of the coin. If the coin, say for instance, was $5, you're getting much more coin than at that particular moment than if it was $100. Because the value is so much lower, you're actually getting more coin for that future sale. So you're much better off positioning yourself right now to continue getting more coins for that eventual sale as it goes higher. Because once it hits $100, you're only going to get a tenth of the coin of what you did when it was at this level. So it's important to understand. And another thing, if you look at what you're actually getting too, is you're buying these coins without having to pay for all the fees. And anytime you buy something in crypto, you pay a fee. You pay 4%, 5%, depends on the exchange. It doesn't matter if it's crypto or stock market, you always pay a fee. But what you're seeing is that you're getting coins and not paying the fee to buy them, essentially. I mean, the value is just unbelievable. So everything that I've done is always cost average down. If the price goes down, buy more, because that makes your total value per share lower, so that when it goes up, you have much greater gain.
And that's definitely worked out for you because that's the pathway to become an accredited investor like yourself. So you got to start somewhere, guys. Most people are probably sitting on what may be called a negative wealth creation. Where they actually owe more than all their so-called assets combined together, and that's really. That's the current system. That the current system and the worldly system has created that. Okay, it's not the fault of the people. I'm going to blame the current system. Why so many people find themselves in such dire straits like that, and they're older, and they're there's such a financial problem in this world. So pool funding wants to show up as a solution. And so I'm really excited about interviewing you, Mark. We'll dig deep into, your thinking, why you did this, why you did that in your path. Right.
Well, it's not been an easy ride either, because believe me, there's a lot of hard knocks. And I think most
you've never
get.
been disappointed, have you?
Yeah, well, the time I lost 50 grand in one deal, that kind of was a little disappointing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you learn from all your mistakes. But I think everybody that's here is kind of a risk taker a little bit at heart and willing to go outside, like look outside the box and find another way to make some money. And Ace, I think you got a pretty good program here.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And I know you're having an astute eye. You're looking at a lot of things. So, yeah. All right. So, anybody else like to? I mean, I'm open to some negativity. If anybody wants to bring in some negativity into the meeting, now's your chance to do it. If you really think I'm wrong in any way, shape, or form, in my posture of like, let's go for strength, let's go for positivity. Is there, okay, Karen, got your hand up. Where do you stand?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that tonight's webinar was really informative, and I think it gives a lot of people into a better insight as to why they should hodl, why they should hold on to their coins
Yeah,
and
hold
let
them.
them continue to grow. And now we know when not to sell. I think it was laid out very clearly tonight for everybody to understand. And I'm going to watch the replay of this again because I want to be sure I really have it in my old noggin up here
All
as to
right.
what to do. So thank you very much. I appreciate that tonight.
All right. Well, great. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate that. Thank you. Well said. And Timothy, you got your hand up. Hello, Timothy. You're one of our new guys, but you're on
Yes,
fire.
sir. Quite new. So my question here is because let's just say I'm coming from building myself up after a bit of an economic fall, right?
Uh-huh.
Working a part-time job. I got sponsored into this, so that's how I managed to invest with you guys. What I'd like to kind of clarify with the buying and selling and stuff like that, because I might, as I'm going forward in this through this year, I'm basically going to keep going, keep at my job, keep working to keep that cash for my bills and utilities, right?
Yeah.
Like that money that I'm making really is only like shit's expensive in Canada, like really flipping expensive in Canada. And
Yeah.
I'm basically only able to make my utilities, my rent,
But you don't pay any taxes, right? You don't pay taxes in Canada, right?
yeah. If I'm making $1,000, man, I'm paying like 150, 200 bucks in tax a check every 2 weeks.
Exactly. Yeah. The taxation is crazy there. It's bad in the US, but I think it's higher in Canada,
Yeah, it's high, it's ridiculous. But anyway, so I'd like to kind of clarify with the hodling because I understand what you're saying with the maintaining your coin in your pocket, right? But how does that translate to basically me not having, if I'm holding the coin, how do I get the cash flow out so that I'm not having to struggle through with the paycheck to paycheck thing?
Right. So go back to this. I'm going to share my screen again. Go back to this chart here. Okay, you see this here? Okay.
Yeah.
This is your answer in the short term because you're having a short-term concern, right? How do you get to the point where you can at least pay all your bills on time, right?
Yeah.
That's called cash flow, right? So,
Mhm.
and especially if we, even at $10, if you had an extra $30 every single day that you didn't have before, how big of a change would that be for you in your life?
That's huge, especially because it's not taxed.
Yep, yep. Well, that's another question. We'll leave that one up for the debaters. On the taxation of it, but it is cash flow, right? It is cash flow, and at least it's not like a paycheck that the taxes comes out. That's the problem with a lot of paychecks is you get a paycheck, but the taxes were taken out first. You never even had a chance to touch the money that you earned,
Mhm.
right? That's the problem with paycheck money. So that's why opportunities like this give you a chance to get ahead because you can create cash flow and deal with the taxes and all that situation later. But anyway, there's ways no matter where you are in this world, how to deal with taxes in a way that's favorable. I'll give you that.
Mhm.
But I'm I'm a guy who sees that taxation has a huge negative impact on wealth accumulation, you know. So I've run
Oh,
the
yeah.
numbers, you know.
We could get into an hour-long conversation just on that in itself.
Exactly. And
So,
I have a video over here. I'll show you the video. Let me find it real quick on my watch this video if you're interested in the impact of taxes on wealth creation.
So here I am in 2025.
I'll find it here. It's down a ways. I'm over 200 videos now, so we've accumulated. We've been busy.
that was one of the reasons why I trusted this process because there's just so much information you've put out already.
Yeah, I mean, we're not hiding anything because we feel very confident what we're trying to do is help people. And we got some loose ends we'll tie down, but we'll figure it out, you know. Where is it? Must be getting close. Way down here. Here it is. Taxation is a wealth killer. Okay. The numbers don't lie. 9 months ago.
Okay.
It's only got 66 views. Maybe it's too depressing to watch. I don't know. But yeah, check that one out, guys. 9 months ago, taxation is a wealth killer. Then you can save yourself talking about it again. So as a new person in pool funding, how's it feel, to be brand new in this thing?
Um, frankly, I feel really excited. It's been a little bit challenging over the last little bit, working day to day from paycheck to paycheck, but this has been really just made me really happy. I'm going to be honest. I'm talking to a bunch of people who are learning something new, who are working towards something, and it's just nice to just jump on here and everybody's excited about something. Like I'm really actually excited about what this could lead to.
Being part of the community, the vibe the community is putting out is what you're referring to. Being inserted in that, it's like, wow, it's like, it's like a vacation from your life, right?
Just a little bit, yeah, there's something I can look forward to other than a 9 to 5.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, just realize this, that as far as cash flow goes, you're probably paying, something every day right now, whether it's $1 or $11. You're doing something every day, right? And as you get one person to also do that as well, now it's not coming out of your pocket anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beautiful thing. It only takes one. And then positive cash flows happens at two, So if you have two people paying you $11 every day and you're paying out $11 every day, your positive cash flow is $11 every day, right? And
Gotcha.
that is a start, right? That is the beginning. And what happens is you'll start developing a story, and then pretty soon people start hearing about the story, and then they want in on the story. They have their own story, you know. And that's what I'm really looking forward to. When the stories are going to come soon, the big stories. We have some pretty cool stories right now, but you know, not everybody is so open to sharing their story. But we have some pretty cool ones already. But I think when we have a lot of stories, then people be more open to sharing their story. When there's a whole bunch of stories, this is happening, this is happening. People making this, making that. Um, this is where we're going. Is when I achieve my objective of fulfilling an order for a paid sign up the same day that it's paid for, when mar- that'll be the date. Okay, you want to put an X on that date and say that's the beginning of the landslide or avalanche or tsunami, whatever you want to call it. But the fast growth is going to happen from that date moving forward. Everything moves up quickly after that. Price of our coins, everything goes up quickly. And then it's much easier for everyone. So even the person that is like really bad at recruiting, if they can pay for a sign up, that overcomes their problem, doesn't it?
Hmm. Well, I know I got about 3 people who are actually interested in hearing about this already. So
It's not your problem. Sounds like you're gonna be good to go. I like the way you're branding yourself. I know you're a bit of an artist, so I like your in your thumbnail here. You've got the
that's my company logo. Yeah, feel free if you want to ever see more of my work, reach out to me and I'll see if I can help you out with anything.
yeah. Well, I believe you'll be when we open up the store. Some of the stuff you do, I know some of your artwork that you do could be made. You could do digital prints or whatever of it, you know. Now for that, I think you'll have people lining up for your stuff because you're like one of those kind of artists. People like the nature, the natural. You know, that's what most people are into. I think you're kind of good at that. So
Great NFTs.
exactly.
I'm also a big traditionalist. I cannot stand modern art.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
burn down most of it if I could.
Yeah. It's just crazy how people go nuts over, you know, $5 million for something you can't make heads or tell what it's a picture of what, you know? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure most of that's money laundering, but I digress.
Yeah, you got a good point there. They made a movie about that, by the way.
Oh,
Anyway, all right.
Cal, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
I appreciate you too, Tim. I'm glad that you might be new, but you fit right in. You fit right in. I'm glad to have you here. All right. So anybody else? I didn't get any negativity. Nobody's gonna, say that I'm doing anything wrong here because now's a chance to call me out, live, if you're interested in doing that. But I think that overall, I think my intent is shining through. I came here to help you, all of you. You. That's what I'm here to do. And I have put myself, aside. I have put I pay myself last. I don't pay myself big. Okay. I'm constantly finding a way to take money that's in my hands to help move pool funding forward. Sometimes my projections are wrong. I think something's going to happen this time and it happens at that time or doesn't happen the way I thought it did. Disappointment sets in. So never take a date. Don't be a date setter, you know. Dates are just what we're shooting for, right? It's kind of like a goal. If we set a goal and it doesn't happen on a particular date, as long as the goal is achieved on some date, it's still a goal achieved. Can we agree on that? You guys like the way I'm talking right now? That we can get hung up on dates and then we get to a grinding halt and we go to a point where, the energy of the people is low and not good. And that's we don't want that in our community, right? We want the energy to be high and we need to get over, if we miss a target date or something like that, or, if we're off here or off there, you know, I mean, in a way, what happened at the end of October turned out to be a blessing, the way I look at it now. But the moment it happened, it felt like a disaster, but it took us about a week to deal with it back in October. But what the end result is, I think we are now a much better offer than we would have been had that not happened in October. Would you guys agree on that? How many?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So sometimes these blessings, they don't always come in nice, shiny, wrapping paper. Sometimes they come in brown paper bags with oil spots on them, and kind of nasty looking, but they're still a blessing. So just be grateful, just live your life in gratitude and realize that I'm here for you and I hope you're here for me. And then we're here to do this together. And that we realize that this is a balance between cash flow and wealth creation. And the coin part of it is more about the wealth creation. The cash flow is the activity, right? The activity creates cash flow. What we do with the coin, it's just from time to time we're gonna sell little bits and pieces of it, and everybody's gonna have the right to do that. The cool thing about it is that after the 90 day of staking, you're in full control. That coin is in your wallet. You don't have to ask permission. It's there, right? So if you want to sell low and you don't want to follow good advice, that's on you as an individual, right? But hopefully as a community, we educate our individuals in the community well enough that they don't make that error, because if someone puts the price below that, when we get to the point where we're working in that range, okay, for example, PFI needs to range between $250,000 and $500,000 in price. If we go down to 200,000, then that impacts the entire community. Am I right? Right? Then everybody that's making payments, they're not getting credit for those payments because we're below the range. So that's one of the conditions of the co-founder bonus. But the point is, there should be a whole bunch of us that are, protected from that, any kind of plunges that might happen. So it's collectively we work together, and it's a give and a take. And I trust that it's going to work. Nothing in this life is perfect or 100%. So yeah, I just have to say, that we don't always have the perfect crystal ball to know exactly what's going to happen next. We're just going to do our best day by day, and I hope I'm being a good example of the right attitude. And trust me, I have to shape up myself all the time. Because I'm the first to admit I also get disappointed when things don't go the way I want it to go, or as fast as I'd like it to go. But we're moving pretty good right now. Take a look at what's happened in the last week since the time that we started paying off those, the insurance refunds, and then we got the AI thing. Look at what's happened in the last week. You can see that there's momentum as of this week. Go look in the YouTube channel and see for yourself what I'm talking about. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to go ahead and, how do we want to wrap this up? Let's just say, what do I want to do? It's all about cash flow and wealth creation. How about everybody just say that? It's all about cash flow and wealth creation.
All about cash flow and wealth creation.
Cash flow.
Wealth creation.
It's all about cash
wealth
flow and
creation.
wealth creation.
It's all about cash flow and wealth creation.
All right, love it.
Wealth
Well
creation.
done.